Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter exponential functions. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? So let's just start with the chapter exponential functions. Okay, here I'm in grade 9 math. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is exponential. Let's just start with the chapter exponential functions, and let's just start with the lesson that is domain and range of exponential functions. Okay, what is domain of its exponential function? Okay, the domain of a function is the set of all possible x values, right? That's it. That is the definition of the domain. What is domain? The domain of a function is a set of all possible x values, and the range of a function is set of all possible y values, right? So that means x values are domain and the y values of a function are range, right? So for the exponential function y equals a b x minus h plus k, right? Exponential functions look like this. The domain is all the real numbers and the range is either y is greater than k or y is less than k, right? So the domain of the exponential function is all real numbers. Since the domain of all exponential functions, the domain of all exponential functions is a real numbers, right? This is true because an exponential function can be evaluated for all values of x, right? That means what no matter what value of x, you can evaluate the exponential function, right? So for domain of every exponential function is all real numbers, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. What is the domain of the exponential functions, right? Range is the y values, right? You can see here you have all greater, you can see from here x values are negative, y values are positive. You can go here, y values are still positive. That means the y values are x is greater than equal to 0. That is x and x such that x is greater than 0. But that is for the domain. Hold on. Oh, sorry. The question is what is domain of the exponential function, right? Okay, let me explain again. Just listen to me carefully. Exponential functions are always like this: y equals a times xn, right? The exponents of any variable, right? These are the exponential functions. So we are here working on domain and range of the function, right? X values of any expression is the domain, right? Whatever x value you put here is domain, and the y values of the function is the range of the function, and the domain of the exponential functions is all real numbers, right? because the exponential function can be evaluated on all real numbers. So the domain of the exponential function is always a real number, right? Okay, let's just start with the next one. What is the domain of this exponential function? Which is the correct option? Domain of a domain of an exponential function is always a all real numbers. So the correct option is all real numbers, right? Again, the question is what is the domain of the exponential function? So no matter what exponential function it is, the domain of the exponential function is always all the real numbers, right? So whatever function it is, like just the exponential function, whatever exponential function it is, the domain of the exponential function is all real numbers. Got it? So for this one, the domain is also all real numbers, right? Okay. Again, what is the domain of the exponential function? So the domain of all the exponential functions are all real numbers. So the correct option is all real numbers. Again, what is the domain of the exponential function? So the domain of the exponential function is all real numbers. So the correct option is all real functions, right? All real numbers. Domain is all the x values you can give to any function. For example, let's just leave the exponential function. Let's see a small, basic function. For example, you have a function y equals x plus 1. Basically, x is the independent variable, right? Independent variable means you can put whatever x value you want. For example, I'm going to put x equals 0, y equals 0 plus 1. That is 1. Y is dependent on the x values, right? You can put any x values. For example, the other one is x equal 1. So that is 1 plus 1 equals 2. So all the x values you can put to a function is the domain of the function. And all the y values you got are all the range of the function. Got it now? Whatever x value you put to a function is domain and all the y values are range. If you still have any confusion, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They will explain you in details, right? But this is very easy. You just have to see whenever you are given a function in the form of x and y, right? X is independent variable. Independent variable means you can put any values of x you want to put in the function. And y values are dependent on your x values. So x is an independent variable in a function and y is the dependent variable. So all the values for x you put in the function is domain, and the y values you got for x values are the range of a function. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next one is match exponential functions and graphs. Which graph match the equation y equals 2 4 exponent x and plus 1, right? So you are given four of the graphs. Okay, start with the first graph. Okay, start by checking if the first graph match the given equation y equals 2 times 4 exponent x plus 1. The graph has an horizontal asymptote at y equals negative 1. You can see here what the graph is aligned at y equals 1, right? But the graph of the given equation has horizontal asymptote at y equals 1. But here you can see the graph has the horizontal asymptote at y equals 1, right? Because c equals 1, this is the c. So that means this isn't the correct one, right? Okay, let's just check with the second one. Okay, this graph also has an asymptote value y equals 1, right? This isn't the correct option, right? This is the correct option. D is the correct option. How? You can see this graph. This, if you match this value, that is y equals 1. Here y equals 1, right? And this is the positive value, c equals 1, right? So this is the graph of the equation. Note that the graph lies above a horizontal asymptote at y equals 1, and graph approaches its asymptote as x decreases. You can see here x values are decreasing, right? And the graph is aligned with y equals 1, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Basically, you can understand your graph, which is the correct graph from the values of c. So just look at the c values in a given equation. What is c in the given equation, right? Okay, just look at here. Which equation match the graph? Just look at the asymptote. This is 1, 2, 3. This is y equals 3, right? So the correct graph is the one that has the c value equal to 3. So here you have two graphs that have the c value equal 3, right? Now you have to see which is the correct option. Just look at this value. Here you have 3 and here you have 1 over 3, right? You can see as the graph is increasing, right? It is approaching to y equals 3. If you, sorry, x equals 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see as x is increasing, graph is approaching to the value x equals 3. So the correct option is this one, y equals 3x plus 3, right? The correct option is y equals 3x plus 3. A, B, I don't know what A, B, C, D. Let's see. Let's suppose this is A, this is B. So B is the correct option. Yes, that is B. Okay. The next one is which graph match the equation? The equation is y equals, let me just write down equation here. Negative 3 y equals negative 3 1 over 3 x minus 2, right? Let's just see which is the correct option. We are given four of the graphs. Okay, The c equals negative 2. That means that asymptote is at negative 2, right? Y equals negative 2. Here you have the asymptote at y equals negative 2, and here you have asymptote at y equals negative 2, right? Also, you have here negative value. That means this is the correct option, right? The correct option is A, B, C, D, right? If this value is positive, the graph is upward. Thus, it is negative, so the graph is downward. So, this is the correct option. The correct option is D, A, B, C, D. Okay, which equation match the graph? Okay, you have an asymptote at 5. Positive value it is, right? That means these are the two options that are the correct one. Also, they have the negative 3 value, the graph is downward. So which is the correct option? Negative 3 2 exponent x or 1 over 2 exponent x. So you can see the graph has a, the graph is, as the graph is decreasing, the graph is reaching to its maximum value. So the correct option is option number A. B is the correct option, right? The correct option is B. D. Okay. The first equation is the fourth equation is negative 3 1 over 2x plus 5. This is the correct equation. Note that the graph lies below a horizontal asymptote at y equals 5. The graph approaches its asymptote as x increases. Okay, so that is the D equation. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So let me just move on to the next lesson. So it basically, you can go through the chapter exponential function. I think I have covered the chapter exponential function from the book. Go search the YouTube channel and you can find the exponential, see your book, which chapter it is. In the summers, I discussed all the chapters from book. So I think I have discussed the chapter exponential function already on the channel. So just search the channel, find the exponential chapter there, chapter exponential functions there, and go through the lesson, right? Because here on the tutorial, on the A plus, you haven't covered all the basic things from the chapter, right? So if you find it difficult, go find the chapter exponential functions on the channel and go through the lesson, right? Evaluate an exponential function. Okay, use the following function rule to find f of 3. The function is f of x equals 7x. You have to evaluate f of 3. F of 3 means replace all the x values with 3. So that is 7 exponent 3, and 7 exponent 3 is 343, right? The correct option is 343. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Use the following function rule to find f of 2. So replace all the x values with 2. That is f of 2 equals 4.82 11 exponent 2, right? 11 exponent 2 is 121, and that is 4.82. The correct option is 583.22. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 583.22, right? Okay, use the following function to find f of 2. So just replace all the x values with 2, right? So that is 11 square, and 11 square equals, yes, that is 121. So the correct option is 121. Use the following function rule to find f of 0. So which is the correct option? You have to replace all the x values with 0. So 11 exponent 0 is 0, and 0 plus 7 is 0. 8. Yes, 11, any number exponent 0 equals 1, right? So 11 exponent 0 equals 1. So 7 plus 1 is 8. The correct option is 8. Okay, use the following function rule to find f of 4. So which is the correct option? That would be 3 exponent 4, and 3 exponent 4 equals 81. The correct option is 81, right? The correct option is 81. Use the following function to find f of 2. So which is the correct option? Three square is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, and 18 minus 11 is 7. The correct option is 7. Use the following function rule to find f of 1. So which is the correct option? 10 exponent 1 is 10, and 10 times 10 is 100. The correct option is negative 100, right? The correct option is negative 100. Use the following function to find f of 5. So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 30 because 2 exponent 5 is 32 and 32 minus 2 is 30. Okay, you can complete the lesson by using. We just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is exponential growth and decay word problems. Okay, Princeton University charges 53,000 for tuition. If they raise their fee by 5% each year, how much will tuition fee will be in 9 years, right? So basically the initial amount is 53,000, right? The fee starts from 23 and every month it is increased by 5%. That means that is the rate of increase, that is 5%. So 5 over 100 is 0.05. For the time duration you have to calculate is 9 years. You have to use the formula that is y equals a times 1 plus r exponent t, right? A is the initial amount, r is the rate of increase, and t is the time. So just put up the values and do the calculations. That means after 9 years that would be 2220, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, Oliver has $70 in a saving account that earns 10% interest compounded annually to the nearest cent. How much interest will he earn in 3 years, right? So you are given the initial amount that is 30, that is 70. The interest rate is 10%, right? That is the I. Then your time duration is 3, right? So you have to do 1, you have to calculate the interest. That is I equals A, that is the basic amount, like the saving amount. 1 plus I exponent t, right? So A is 70, 1 plus interest rate 10 over 100 is 0.10 and T is 3, right? So let me just calculate the value. Hold on. 1 plus 0.1, that is 1.1, and 1.1 exponent 3 is 1.331, and 1.331 1.331 times 70 is 1, that is 93.17. That means after 3 years he have 93.17, but you have to calculate the interest only. So 70 he already have. Subtract 93.17, 70 out of 93.17, right? That means the interest he earned in 393.17 minus 70, because 70 he already have, and after 3 years he earned 23.17. So the correct option is 23.17. Got it? The correct option is 23.17, right? Okay, let's just move on to the next one. And the next one is Princeton. That is the one we're doing the tutorial. Princeton University charges 53,000 for tuition. If they raise their tuition fee by 5% each year, how much will tuition be in 9 years? So the correct option is 8,220.40. That is the correct option. I remember the answer, right? Okay, the next one is Stanley has $90 in his account, in his saving account, that earns 10% interest. That is the same one I did the first one, right? The basic amount is 90. The interest is 10%, so that would be 1 plus 0.1, and the time duration is 2. So let me just do the calculations, right? Okay, that is 1.1 square, that is 1.21, and 1.21 times 90 equals 108.90. So the correct option is option number 1. That means after 2 years he have $108.90 in his account, right? The correct option is 108.90. Okay, the next one is Daniel have $50 in a saving account that earns 5% interest compounded annually. To the nearest cent, how much interest will he earn in 2 years? So which is the correct option? You can solve this question on your own and write the answer in the chat box. That is 5.12. Option number 1 is the correct option. 3, hold on. Okay, yes, I have to round off the number. That is 5.13. The correct option is 5.13, right? Okay, Gina deposited $2 in a saving account earning 5% interest compounded annually. To the nearest cent, how much will she have in 3 years? So, which is the correct option? That is 2.32. You have to use the same formula and you need to do the same calculations we did earlier, right? Yes, that is 2.32, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So, we were working on grade 9 math. The chapter we're working on is exponential functions, and the lessons we have covered from the chapter are domain and range of exponential functions, match exponential functions in graphs, evaluate an exponential function, and exponential growth and decay word problems, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with a lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, right? I have already covered this chapter from the book on the channel. You can just search the channel and go through the chapter if you need more help with this lesson, right? Because you haven't covered the lesson, that's why you didn't understand anything. Search the channel, find the in chapter there, go through the lesson, and if you still need help, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, right? They will help you with the lesson. So go contact any tutor on the Skype. They will help you with the lesson. And I think you are new to grade 9. You haven't covered this chapter exponential functions earlier.